I'm just trying to figure out, how is this big heifer still free? How is this big heifer still free? They should have been made an example out of her butt, and they should have been put her in handcuffs. How is this fraud criminal crook still free? This big heifer here. And now she is suing president administration once again for illegals to be on SNAP benefits. You just can't make this up. You just can't make this up. Just when you think it don't get worse for these Democrats and running everybody out of New York. This big heifer here.
Today, Attorney General Bonta, Attorney General Dana Nessel, and I are co-leading a coalition of our fellow Democratic attorneys general in suing this administration to protect SNAP and the sensitive personal information of all of its recipients. The federal government's demand that states turn over SNAP recipients' data is flat out illegal. In fact, our laws prohibit us from disclosing this SNAP data unless it is strictly necessary for administering the program. And in this case, it is not. This latest action from this administration is nothing more than an attempt to sow fear and to cause chaos amongst vulnerable populations. And we are suing to uphold the rule of law, to protect the sensitive personal information of everyone who receive SNAP benefits, and ensure that this administration does not use critical and necessary food assistance to target immigrant communities. I too want to thank my...
Want to really see something that said, take a look at what happened.
Hey.
Why this beat so cold?
We will make America proud again. And you try to kill our citizens. We will make America wealthy again. And yes, together, we will make America great again.
Paul Morrow is here joining me, retired NYPD inspector, attorney, Fox News contributor. Paul, great to have you with us today. It seems like this is an extension of, there's sort of two avenues here. You've got the White House trying to extend their reach of DOGE, essentially, of figuring out where the waste, fraud, and abuse is in a number of different agencies and benefits. And then you've got Letitia James, who now has, put this up on the screen if you can, at least 26 lawsuits heading after President Trump. And remember, she said she was always committed to this. Here's a look back at her talking about that. Let's watch.
No one is above the law, including this illegitimate president.
The loudest ones be the guiltiest ones. This big fraudulent scamming heifer. They should have been made an example out of this lady, man. You know, I'll tell you, the loudest ones be the guiltiest ones. And now so much fraudulent that came up under her name. They should have been walked this heifer out, man, long time ago.
And so, I look forward.
No one is above the law. No one is above the law. Illegitimate president. Trump. They need to walk this big heifer out in handcuffs with her hands behind her back. That's all I want to see. It'll make everybody's year. I'm telling you, people will be celebrating if they seen this heifer walked out in handcuffs. Oh, New York would rejoice. New York would. Oh, you see everybody in the middle of the street in Times Square breakdancing if they walk this heifer out. I'm just saying.
Going into the office of Attorney General every day, suing him, defending your rights, and then going home.
I say one name, Donald Trump. That should motivate you.
Gonna get him. So this is the very latest. Your thoughts on this, Paul?
Well, first of all, I mean, look, there's a couple ways to look at this. Let's do legal and then let's do practical. First of all, legally, all right? She is an officer of the court. She's a lawyer. She's come into office specifically saying, I am going to use my office to target a particular person. That's not how our law works. And the idea here that she seems to be leveraging is the idea, well, you show me the person, I'll show you the crime. She started with the perpetrator and then looked for the crime. Now, I have to tell you something. If you do that at the prosecutorial level so blatantly in another context, as in a place where they are not going to be so fully supportive of you going after Donald Trump, you will get crucified. There's a very good chance you're going to lose your law license. And I'm very surprised that one of the tactics that the Trump administration has not taken is to file formal complaints against her with the New York State Bar. Because from where I sit, she's very close to an ethics violation by saying, hey, I'm going to be the AG, and my principal role is going to be to go after one guy.
So let's talk about the other side of this, which is the White House and the administration's desire to cut waste and fraud. So they look at the SNAP program, and when you look at the 3 states that are bringing these lawsuits, including Michigan and New York, they have a higher level of SNAP usage than other states in the country, and they also have a larger number of migrants, a lot of sanctuary cities in all of these jurisdictions. So what about going after the use of SNAP?
Of course. Listen, they're going to lose this lawsuit, all right? It's established federal law that the federal government has the right to withhold funding from states if...
They just be wasting time, man. Like... just put this, y'all just walk this heifer out, man, so she can stop wasting everybody's time. You know, we've already caught her. She's already, just make an example out this heifer, please. They say, Rick, sir, that will never happen. She will never be held accountable. I'm telling you, man.
Those states are not complying with federal regulations. And it's been established for a long time, going back now almost 50 years. And They know it. This is performative. She's up for re-election next year. And think about the absurdity of this on its face. Essentially, what the federal government is saying is, we just want to know who we're giving the money to.
Right.
That's it. What are we supposed to just blindly throw checks out the window? I might as well open the door and just cut the checks at the Federal Reserve. Just throw the checks out the window, because essentially that's what this. They're saying you're not allowed to ask where this money is going. And I was saying I wanted to do legal, then I wanted to do practical. I got to tell you something. As working here in New York City, the number is much higher in terms of how many people get SNAP. It's like 1 in 5, all right? I used to make these arrests. You know, you have to search the prisoner.
That's 20% of the population.
Yeah, it's. But
20% of the population, I don't believe, is under the poverty level where you're supposed to be able to collect SNAP, and they're not here on asylum or as refugees.
I'm going to give you the exact number. You have 1.8 million, and there's probably, 8.5 million people, however you couch it, in New York City. So you would arrest people, they'd have 5, 6, 7, 8 benefits cards, all in different names. And the way it works on the ground level is you take what you need, but generally what they do is you're allowed to buy certain staples, bread, milk, things like that. They buy that stuff ostensibly, but what they really do is get $100 in benefits from the bodega owner. The bodega owner takes 50%. They keep $50 and they go buy drugs. All right. Now that's not everybody, of course.
No.
I want people saying, "Oh, everybody who's using SNAP benefits is a drug addict." I'm not saying that, but I can tell you that the level of scammery is mind-numbing. You can't believe it. And you would have those moments where you say, "A
whole lot of scams." We've been talking about them for a very long time. It's a disgrace what's going on down there. It's a disgrace with what's taking place. It's just been a bunch of scam. And we wish you Democrats cared this much about the American people. As much as y'all holler and scream, we wish you cared this much.
I'm going to work. Why am I should just get a bunch of benefit cards?
But if you clear out those who are using it for nefarious purposes, and you allow people who legitimately have the right to receive it, you're going to save a lot of money across the country.
The way
That's the
it's
goal.
supposed to work. Of course,
Exactly.
that's supposed to work that way, and we'd be able to help the people who really need it.
Who really need it, who really needs it. But no, it ain't happening that way. It's not happening that way. I hate to break the truth to you, but it's not. And y'all know how it is. And it's pissed a lot of people off. A lot of people off. And they agree to these new cuts, to these new regulations, to these new people agree, man. I'm telling you. They agree everything with this administration, from EBT, food stamps, everything. Government assistance. You people have messed the system up, man. Illegals, all your baby mamas, with 15 kids, y'all. Hey, it's a new sheriff in town, and we got to do things the right way. Whether you like it or not, there's a new sheriff in town, and we got to start doing things the right way, man. Because the people that actually need it, you know.
Getting ripped off. Why is that such a bad thing for Donald Trump to look into?
I mean, all of these jurisdictions should be looking at their books and making sure that they're not wasting money.
Bottom line.
But they don't want to do it. Right. Paul, thank you very much, Paul Morrow, about the latest.
Y'all can just sit around, don't want to do nothing. You know, think you can just survive off the government assistance and lay up and suck and play with mushroom tip and pop out more kids. Then illegals, and then y'all, some of y'all got the nice place and everything and still getting benefits. Got a nice job and everything. Then they say, well, I don't want to pay for food, I want to pay for this. And then some of y'all taking the benefits and transferring it over and buying all kind of stuff. Oh, man. Oh, boy, oh, boy, oh, boy. But check this clip out of this lady. We'll play it. Here's the full clip. Check this disgrace out.
Thank you, Attorney General Bonta. The SNAP program is a critical lifeline for tens of millions of Americans throughout our country, and specifically 2.9 New Yorkers. Every day, SNAP benefits make it possible for working families to afford to put food on the table. And more than half of those who receive SNAP are families with children, and more than a third have elderly or disabled family members. Without SNAP, many families would not be able to count on their next meal. For decades, SNAP has prevented people from going hungry and saved countless lives. But now, this administration is attempting to use this program as a tool in their cruel and chaotic targeting of immigrants. It is outrageous. It is unacceptable. And this administration has demanded that states hand over sensitive personal information of all SNAP recipients going back to 2020. That includes addresses, social security numbers, immigration statuses, and more. This is not for research or to improve a service that millions count on. No, they are basically trying to weaponize the SNAP program against immigrant communities in violation of the law. And we collectively will not stand for it. That is the administration's plans, and they have made it abundantly clear. They even removed a notice on the USDA's website that promised people could apply for and receive SNAP benefits without immigration consequences. We will not allow this life-saving program to be illegally used to hunt down immigrants and their families. No one should fear for their safety when they seek food assistance for their families. And this administration cannot intimidate vulnerable families and prevent them from putting food on the table. Today, Attorney General Bonta, Attorney General Dana Nessel, and I are co-leading a coalition of our fellow Democratic attorneys general in suing this administration to protect SNAP and the sensitive personal information of all of its recipients. The federal government's demand that states turn over SNAP recipients' data is flat out illegal. In fact, our laws prohibit us from disclosing this SNAP data unless it is strictly necessary for administering the program. And in this case, it is not. This latest action from this administration is nothing more than an attempt to sow fear and to cause chaos amongst vulnerable populations. And we are suing to uphold the rule of law, to protect the sensitive personal information of everyone who receive SNAP benefits, and ensure that this administration does not use critical and necessary food assistance to target immigrant communities. I too want to thank my team. I want to thank my colleagues. I want to thank all of you. And now I turn it over to my colleague from Michigan, Attorney General Dana Nessel.